Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we should have a fun one on our hands. It's the Raiders coming in at 7-1, going up against the Steelers, who come in at 4-4. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, after an off-season of questions, football is back here in the East Bay and Oakland, California. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Oakland Raiders. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. On the return, here's Justin Gilbert, and he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They come up in an offset eye. They go play action here on first down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. These coaches told us they wanted to take the top off this defense. They wanted to be able to stretch them downfield. They showed it pretty well there.
And they knew that if they were able to do that, it would open up everything else. But how did they truly get it done? Practice in the previous week, making sure they had a plan, fine-tuned before they put it into effect in the game.
He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And now it's second down. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Ooh, that's taking a real chance on the opening drive of the ball game. I get wanting to be aggressive, but you don't want to leave your defense in a bad spot right away. Fortunately, they're able to convert here on 4th down.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Time to meet the defensive starters for the Oakland Raiders, and you want to discuss one of their safeties.
I certainly do. Carl Joseph out of West Virginia. Always did a great job policing the middle of the field. A big hitter, knocked the ball away, but really added to his game as last year as a Mountaineer. Became a better cover guy and a better ball hawk before he got injured. They're really going to love him in Oakland.
2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And his throw is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation, I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the first down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Throwing on first down is Carr. Throw left side to the tight end Walford. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Offensive starters now. Charles, what about Latavius Murray?
You know how you and I talk about players under the radar sometimes? Latavius Murray definitely qualifies as one of those players. And then you look up, and he's pressing 1,000 yards every year.
And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. And now a peek at the starters on the defensive side. So 1 yard to go here on 3rd down. Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that's complete to Walford. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the 1st quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They go play action here on 1st down. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Now they'll let Olawale a crack at it. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Carr now on 3rd and goal. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I've become a firm believer over the years that many drops happen before the ball's even snapped. When you call wide receiver screen, as we saw there, I know these guys really well. They're thinking about that play going to the end zone, and sometimes they forget to catch the football first.
And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Here comes Gilbert. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Complete. Richardson has it. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. Really good, solid run right there. And they did it from a 4 wide receiver set. And if you're an offensive coordinator, they used to tell people, hey, we're going to throw the football. Now they use 4 receivers on the field to spread things out, give them more running lanes and more options. And also, it usually takes the bigger defenders off the field, makes the defense lighter and easier to run against.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. We'll see what they'll do here as they're up against a 4th and inches. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, this from 37. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So we're trading field goals here in the opening half. No breakthrough yet on the touchdown front. We've got a 6-3 game.
And really, I like what I've seen from both of these defenses thus far. Both have been a little more aggressive than I expected, And I think that's reflected in what we see on the scoreboard, which is no touchdowns to this point.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
They'll come out in the pistol. On second down, here's Carr. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Here we go. Red 18. Red.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Shift together here from the D-line. That was second down run for Murray. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you talk about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Shotgun now for Carr. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Now Carr. That's caught inside the 20. And they get 28 yards on that one. And the Raiders are going to have a first down. And now a first down following that long gain. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Carr to throw on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Throwing his Carr on third down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point. So no problems converting there.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Steelers. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
That was a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
On second down, it's Bell. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense, hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. On third down, Roethlisberger. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Now when Sale's out of bounds, the side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, it's Murray. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
One receiver to the left is Cooper. They go play action here on first down. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. We'll come back to Oakland after this. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now Carr with a give to Murray. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's 3rd and short.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. 3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Now some confusion offensively here as Carr's going to signal for a timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Third down and 3. Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that's complete to Walford. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. From midfield, here's Carr.
Would it be safe to say that
it's caught inside the 25? And they get 28 yards on that one. And it'll give the Raiders a 1st down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Carl trying again on 2nd down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Again, it's Carr. And now another one thrown incomplete. The big tight end, Clive Walford, the intended target. And that brings up 4th down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Green with a catch left side. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Brown, the lone receiver, left. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Wide open receiver, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tied in, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball, and as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger once more.